Well, Johnny, at the press conference, Chris Eubank Jr versus Liam Smith. Quite a strange one.
It was a strange one. I think both fighters got very emotional up there. I think they went down a line that a lot of people were uncomfortable with, but you know, maturity would have helped Chris deal with what Liam was trying to say. I'd have just said, "What if I was gay?" And what's the big deal? It seemed like Liam was trying to weaponize that as though it was a. I'm like, come on, man. But that's what I did. I just said, "What if I was gay?" Chris clearly was peed off with it because that's why he came back with what he said. Basically, you've got two fighters that have emotionally, physically invested in each other the last 12 weeks. They think about how they're obsessed with each other. Because they're fighting each other, that's what fighters do. That's what we do as beasts. So now it's got to the point now where they're making weight. They're emotionally charged. They're going to say things that they'll apologise for after the fight. And so everybody's getting all het up and sensitive about what was said and done. But these guys, this is human behaviour. You and I know, anybody knows, when you're mad, when you're emotional, you're going to say some stuff that you think, why would I say something so stupid? And so that's just all it was. You've just got two guys that are heated in the moment, two guys that are so angry, you want to get them under each other's skin. You know, if I know, if I had an argument with I get to this point where I'm stuttering because I can't get my words out. And then after you think, I should have said this, I should have said that. That's just what happened. You've got two guys that, I know Liam said he's not got under my skin. I have never seen that form of Liam. I've never heard that kind of language out of him when the camera and microphone's in front of him. In regards to Chris's response, you know, both fighters are under each other's skin. I don't care what you say.
And that's, I think, down to a lot of that both guys know, in reality, a loss and it's over,
it's
right?
Done. It's done. I think Chris could probably try and justify in his head to box on. Liam could never, in his head, box on if he loses to Chris, and so that's why we've seen a different side to him. Yeah,
emotions. As we get closer to the fight, we're now on Thursday. The fight's on Saturday. Emotions do run high, you know that, and like with what's on the line, the winner effectively goes on and boxes for a world title. Yep. The loser, and it's career over. I mean, there's a lot on the line, John.
There's a lot on the line, and that's why. And listen, this is what makes our fight game so intriguing, so interesting, so you can become so obsessed about it, because this is their life. And outside the world of boxing, there's a big wide world out there. But right now, Saturday night is their life. It's more important than their kids, than their partners, than their families, because that's what boxing does. That's what it brings out in you. So, yes, you're right. It's a massive crossroad for both fighters. One can go on and go up. One could go down and go out.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a big divide on who people think is going to win.
Yep.
You know, how do you see it?
I changed my mind Wednesday morning. Up to this fight, I said Liam is far too technically superior and experienced. But then Wednesday, I looked at there he is. I looked at Chris. I looked at his resume. Look, he's the giant slayer. Get him at the right time. His pace, his size, his athleticism, I personally think will be too much for Liam. I think he'll just have something that will just be too much for him. And the problem is, because his name is Eubank Jr, other established fighters struggle to respect him because they think you were giving it. You're your father's son. And because they struggle to respect him, they forget to look at his record, they forget to look at his fights, they forget to look at what he's done. So therefore, and that's the problem now, and I think, Liam, you're making the same mistake as everybody else. If you respect him, like you respected Alvarez, you respected all those top fighters, then there might be a different outcome. But if you go in there thinking, you could never beat me, are you mad? Because this is what you're saying in the gloves are off. If I lost to you, of all people, basically saying, I shouldn't lose to you, you're a gimmick. You know, he's got to get it in his head. He's got to change his mindset. He's got to go in there and think, nah, because if he doesn't, he loses. But I'm leaning towards Chris.
What do you make of Liam? There's been talk of, that he's too small. He's moving up from 154 to 160. What do you make of that weight change at this stage of his career? Because he says actually he's better and he's bigger and he's stronger.
I think it evens the fight out. I think, as I said, Liam has the skill, has a resume. He's been a world champion. He's been up there, has the experience. He's a smaller guy, but he's on his way down. Chris is the bigger guy, not as much technical ability as in technical supremacy. Naturally, he has the athleticism. He has everything going for him. So this is the right timing. So I think the weight makes this fight more even. I think the timing makes this fight more even. So I think it just there's no advantage or disadvantage for any fighter.
Do you see it going 12 rounds, or do you think this fight will end inside the distance?
Spanny, I think this is a 12-round ager. It's a 12-round ager, and the referee is either going to be very busy, or we will have a very entertaining night Saturday night. But what we have just seen now has told me this fight is a lot more serious and has got a lot more spite and fire in it than you could ever imagine. So when you look at the gloves are off and think this stuff's fake, come on, you know.
Listen, that got personal up there. That got very personal. And when it gets personal, it changes boxers' mindsets.
There's no comeback from it. There's no comeback.
You know, and I even for the first time saw Eubank seem slightly rattled from, you know, the comments that because Liam was getting very personal to him, and he did seem to rattle. And it does change a fighter's mindset, and I think that may change game plans.
But you know what I'd have done? And I suppose I can say this with maturity. I'd have just come back to Liam and said, what if I was gay, and what? What's the problem? What are you trying to say? Then it would have all then the backlash and everything would have been on his case.
Yeah.
And but he didn't reply to it. But then the heat came there. He said, hold on a minute. If you want to get personal, boom, went back to him. So it showed that he got to him as well. But I just think it's just give the fire a lot more the fight a lot more seasoning. Put it that way.
Listen, I think one thing we can guarantee is Saturday night we're going to get fireworks. Saturday
night, again, you know, if you can't be there, watch the fight. I think Saturday night is going to be, starting January with this fight. We could start with fight of the year. But Saturday night is going to be one of those fights.
Mate, could be card of the year. I mean, the undercard is absolutely insane.
Card's wicked. I'm looking at Richard Riakporhe. Richard Riakporhe is getting one step closer each time for a world title fight. I need everything to fall in place for him. Because if he doesn't, by the time he gets there, if it's not that confidence matches the ability, he loses a Glowacki. He's got to bully and pressure him from round one. Because if he doesn't, Glowacki will grow in confidence. And as he grows in confidence, that's why I'll take him out. And Richard's got to ignore the pressure of the losses to what Glowacki had to Okoli and Usyk and Bradis. You know, he's got to think, right, I've got to make sure I've got to get this job done and get rid of him.
And one fight that really, really, really intrigues me, Jack Massey moving up in weight. You know, the turmoil he's been through over the last 12 months is enough to make any fighter quit, really. Yeah. He says it's give him strength. You know, he was working over Christmas as a scaffolder. You know, working over Christmas as a scaffolder gets the opportunity to move up to heavyweight and box Joseph Parker. And we don't know what happened with, you know, what sort of Joseph Parker we're going to get with the fight he had with Joyce.
Yeah, so there's questions that need to be answered. What has Joseph Parker got left after the beating he got from Joyce? What is Massey's motivation for this fight? Is it money? If it's money, he'll get hurt Saturday night. If it's a real ambition to make a mark against a top 10 heavyweight, but it's not been done. No cruiserweight has ever, for his first heavyweight fight, jumped in there with been successful and jumped in there with a top 10 rated heavyweight. So I need to understand his motivation. Is it to establish himself as a heavyweight, or is it for the dough? If it's for the dough, it's for the wrong reason, because that's the wrong place to find that out is when the bell goes.